Hello guys, it's been about a week since I've done a video. I know a lot of y'all are probably saying, she ain't got any damn sense. Well, no, I do. I'm not dumb or stupid. Ignorant, yeah, I can be. There are some things I'm ignorant to because I know a lot about a little bit of everything, but not enough about one thing. Okay, I crashed out. And I mean smooth crashed out. It took me 15 months this time to get there. But anyway, I was going to talk to you guys about the war crimes, civilian infrastructures, convictions, things like that. It's going to be a little bit of a long one. Shouldn't be too bad, though. And I kind of actually like this because I got some answers that I wasn't even sure of. Now, I know we all have been made aware of, schools and hospitals and the salinization plants, which are water infrastructures for everyone to have clean drinking water, bathing water, cooking water, things, things of that nature. Drinking water for your pets, so on. But I'm going to go over what are considered civilian infrastructures. Okay, and Trump promises to pardon anyone that comes within 200 feet of his Oval Office. Yeah, that may not get too far, so keep that in mind. Alright, civilian infrastructures are physical structures and systems that support daily functions for daily activities and humanitarian needs of society and non-active military duty members. And the only reason that military members that are in the war with Iran are excluded from this is because the military provides them, with drinking water, medical aid, things like that. Okay. Now, some of the civilian infrastructures is like transportation networks is one of them. Buses, roadways, railways, airports, bridges. And then you have your industrial and economics, which are commercial buildings, irrigation systems, and farms. The irrigation systems would be to water the farmland, the plants, things like that. Okay? Which also falls under salinization plants for clean water and such. Okay? It would come from the same facility. Utilities, which are your electric grids, water supplies, salination plants, and your septic and sewer systems, so you can use the restroom and stuff. And healthcare facilities, like the hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, things of that nature. Communication lines. Okay, so you got telecommunications, which is for your phones, and your internet systems. Both of these are needed for doctor appointments, to get emergency aid, okay, reach out to people like your family members, let them know that you're fine. Check on your elderly family members. And you got public services, which are government facilities like the I forget what they're called. The American buildings, like the Emirates and stuff, where you would go to check in if you're visiting another country or you've got dual citizenship or whatever. you go and check in with them. And these things are vital to society and provide everyday essential services to a country's population. All of these civilian infrastructures are all covered under international laws, okay? Especially and most definitely during war conflicts and hostilities. Consequences for bombing these places, okay, and war crimes are primarily prosecuted by domestic courts within the country where the crimes occurred by other countries using universal jurisdictions, okay? Now, if you recall, one of them that are civilian infrastructures is the economy. There was a news media outlet that another guy that works somewhere along the lines with Trump and his idiots specifically stated that they were grabbing Iran by the economic throat by blocking off the oil ships going into the strait. Go ahead. Keep grabbing them by the throat. Real dumb move. Okay? When national systems are unwilling or unable to accommodate any prosecutions and court hearings and such, the ICC acts as a court of last resort alongside specialized international or hybrid tribunals for specific conflicts. And the main entities for war crime prosecutions are domestic courts, the ICC, universal jurisdictions, international hybrid tribunals, and the DOJ. Yeah, DOJ. Domestic courts under international law, individual nations have the primary duty to investigate and prosecute war crimes within their own jurisdictions, which means the war crimes can be charged in the courts of the country that the crimes occurred in. Okay? Keep that in mind. ICC located in The Hague. The ICC investigates and tries individuals for genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and aggression, but only when nations fail to act, which is called the principle of complementary. Okay? Universal jurisdiction. Countries such as Germany, France, and Sweden can prosecute foreign nationals for war crimes committed anywhere in the world. International hybrid tribunals is a specialized courts established by the UN, Security Council, or in cooperation with affected nations, such as Cambodia, Sierra Leone, and then the DOJ, specifically the Human Rights and Special Prosecution Section, which is known as HSRP. Within the DOJ is tasked with prosecuting atrocity. The ICE's office, or the ICC's office of the prosecutor, is also abbreviated as OTP, okay, investigates individuals who are most responsible for these crimes, focusing on accountability, when a national judicial systems are unavailable or they are biased, one-sided. Okay? What types of consequences come with being committed of war crimes? Committing war crimes comes with severe sentences and seizures of property and assets. Okay? That's not the only thing. But listen. War crime consequences include prosecution by international or domestic courts, potential life imprisonment, death penalties. Perpetrators may be tried by the ICC, specialized tribunals, or under universal jurisdiction in national courts, often resulting in long-term imprisonment and international travel bans. Okay? Legal and penal consequences. Long-term imprisonment. Convicted individuals often face life imprisonment, as seen with former Bosnian Serb military commander Ratko Mladic, I think is how you say it. Could be wrong. I think that's how you say it. Or substantial prison terms, such as the 50-year sentence for former Liberian President Charles Taylor. Okay? You can look up both of these guys and find out more about them, their charges, the sentencing, all that. Death penalty. In certain jurisdictions, especially where domestic laws are applied to war crimes, death penalty is possible if death occurs as a result of the crime. So, I'm going to stop right there for just a second. Let's look back on the schools that were hit. We know of about 165, 170 children that were killed at the school that were ages 7 years old up to 12 years old. Okay? That right there, just that one war crime alone in itself, can get you the death penalty. Okay? So think about that for a minute. And we know it was a Tomahawk missile that hit the school. The only people with Tomahawks is the United States of America's military. The U.S. military service. No other country has Tomahawks. I don't give a damn what J.D. Vance, what Pete Kegsbreath says, what fucking Donald Thumphead says. I don't care. The only ones that have Tomahawk missile is the United States military. Bottom line. Prosecution tribunals. Cases can be heard by the ICC established in 2002 or through the hybrid tribunals combining national and international judges. So judges, basically from around the world, can be pulled and put at the ICC for these cases to be heard. Universal jurisdiction. Under the Geneva Convention, states are required to search for serious violations regardless of their nationality or where the crimes occurred, which is investigating people that goes to these countries, and obviously, being an investigator, they gather intel. They gather proof. All of it's bragged online from Donald Trump. No problem gaining truth there. Got that? No sweat. 15 minutes got you. Okay. Individual and professional consequences. This is where it gets real fun and interesting. Travel restrictions. War criminals often face international travel bans. Donald Trump, I'm hearing, I haven't looked it up yet to verify and make certain, but I'm hearing and understanding that Thumphead has got houses in other countries. Okay? That's what I'm understanding. And I'm going to leave that where it's at for right now. Asset seizure. Individuals may face the seizure of all assets, which includes financial forfeit asseture. Okay? Which means they can even take your money. All of it. Military discipline. And this is for Keg's Breath, J.D. Vance, and I include J.D. Vance in this because he was a United States Marine. Okay, he knows all about these crimes. So does Pete Keg's Breath. He was in the military too. Which branch, I'm not positive of. I don't quite recall. But military discipline, which are violations of the law of war crimes, are considered breaches of military rules, resulting in court-martials. Anyone that is in the military and they are actively serving in this illegal war with Iran, between Israel and with the United States, I strongly recommend that y'all go back and study and restudy the United States Military Code of Conduct. Okay? In the Military Code of Conduct, it specifically states what you are legally allowed to do and what you are not legally allowed to do. And even if you're just now figuring it out, the crimes have already been committed. You're still going to get prosecuted and you'll go to The Hague or you'll go to Leavenworth. So I'm going to, as a United States citizen and a person that's had family members in the military and numerous friends that's been in the military, especially spec ops, personally, I strongly suggest and recommend that you start standing up and refusing illegal orders. You have an absolute duty to do so. You have legal authority to deny an illegal order. You have a legal right to do that, and you are going to be legally held to that. So whatever your position is in the military, if there is any illegal order, that someone is demanding you to do, deny it. Refuse to comply with that illegal order. If it means that you end up having to go sit time out in Leavenworth because you refused an order, I'd much rather you go sit time out for refusing an order and fighting your case from within Leavenworth through the JAG Corps and possibly even a constitutional attorney, and fight for your rights and fight for your knowledge of knowing that you refuse to do an illegal order, and state your case and give the legalities on why it was an illegal order and refuse to follow through or comply with it. Okay? I'd hate for my family to go through it, and I hate for y'all to go through it, but at least you'll be alive. You won't be fighting a war that Donald Trump wants to say is a religious war, because he's trying to bring the second coming of Jesus or God. Okay? The only time that they're going to come, or even one of them will come, is when they feel it's time for them to come. Not because some lawless, ignorant individual that wants to commit blasphemy trying to say or imply that he's God, that he's like God, is blasphemy, and it's an abomination. And then somebody that wanted to threaten the Pope. Let me tell you what, I'm not religious like that at all, but one thing I am absolutely going to tell you, that I'm glad I live in the South, because baby, when them electric bolts, them lightning bolts start coming down, I swear to you on my life, I don't want to be nowhere around. And the further I'm away from there, the better. Now, immunity stripping. You know how Donald Trump seems to have absolute immunity right now here in the United States? Yeah. Bad news. Got some bad news for you. But I'm loving it. Because you absolutely deserve to be prosecuted. You absolutely deserve to be sitting in prison. You should have been sitting in prison when that statement come out from Katie, from when she bit your penis and you punched her in the head. She was 13 years old. You should be sitting in prison right now for being a pedophile. I'm going to call it. If the shoe fits, you need to wear it. I don't care who you are or what you are. I'm a rape victim. I know how these women feel. I know exactly how they feel. And it's horrible. You are a horrible individual and you make me sick. Literally, you make me sick to my stomach some days. You ought to be disgusted and ashamed of your own self. So, immunity and stripping. Political leaders and high-ranking officials can be tried, and their official positions do not protect them from prosecution. Civil liability. Perpetrators may face civil litigation such as civil financial lawsuit. If the international court and the others can seize your assets, you're not going to have any money to pay Iran to rebuild all the infrastructures for the civilians that they have. The salinization plants, the oil refineries, because that's a part of the economics, the hospitals, the schools. And I'll be damned if you're going to have access to the to the taxpayers' money. Once you hit these courts, you're done for. You are done for. These measures are enforced through the Geneva Conventions and international law to penalize violations such as targeting civilians, the children, torture, oh yeah, and one more, sexual violence. So all these survivors out here, they can go to the ICC and do paperwork to file against you in that court for sexual violence. Okay? We know all about all these girls that have been killed and shot in the head when you were at the Epstein Island, the pedophile island, the PDF island, whatever you want to call it. They are all in unmarked graves. Okay? You raped them, molested them, whatever. Okay? You are guilty of being a pedophile, period. Point blank, flat out, full stop. You might as well give it up. Give in. You spend more energy fighting against, trying to hide what you've done, than what it would take just to own up to your responsibilities and your crimes. Go on and take responsibility for it. We all know about it. We all know about it. And so does Iran. So, that's the short and skimpy of bombing civilian infrastructures and the charges and the different courts that get involved and the different countries that get involved, and it's a whole thing. It's going to be a whole long drawn out thing. So all of these people that Donald Trump decides that he's going to pardon, most of you, these pardons ain't going to do a damn thing for you, because y'all are going to end up with the ICC and all these other courts. Those pardons ain't going to do a damn thing for you. All he's doing is manipulating y'all, trying to get y'all to do his illegal bidding. He's manipulated y'all for 15 months this time around. That's not counting the first time he was in. Okay? You're all being manipulated and played for stupid. Those shoes, he intentionally bought them too big. You know why? He's implying that his shoes are too big for you to fill. I see through the bullshit. I've been seeing through the bullshit since day one. I'm just done. I'm tired of sitting back and watching all this unfold and all this other stuff. So I'm opening up. I'm speaking out on it. Like me, hate me, I don't care one way or the other. I'm not here for anybody to like me or dislike me or whatever. If you like me, cool. If you don't, cool. Okay? It's one thing about me is I'll talk about things and I'll talk about stuff and I'll talk about stuff and I'll get to the point to where I explode, which was my crash out video. But once I get past that, I start getting legal on people. I start doing research. Sometimes I get in depth. I've got 13 different things politically that I'm researching, I'm documenting, I know a lot about the stuff I'm already researching, but I do the research and get some detailed information that I wasn't sure of or I don't know enough about in order to speak on. Okay? So, but been to college for criminal justice, been to 2 colleges for medical assisting. Okay, I'm not dumb. I'm not ignorant. I'm not stupid. Sometimes I act ignorant. I will completely own that. Absolutely. But once I get past a certain point, I'm like, okay, you want to be stupid and illegal and all this stuff? I'm going to start pulling out my law books and shit, and I'm going to start getting down and dirty with you. I'm going to show you how intelligent I actually am. You want to call women stupid? You want to call them stupid people? You want to tell them, hush, piggy, piggy? I'll bet you hush. You're too stupid and ignorant to even be talking. Donald Trump, you need to shut your mouth. Some people don't need to speak at all. And sometimes there's certain things that need to be kept in your head and unspoken. So anyway, folks, to everybody that watches my videos, I'm going to call it a night. Go chill out. Watch some TV, some videos, lay in bed and rest and relax. Thanks for your subscriptions and stuff and becoming a member. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Share my videos where you can. And we'll hit you up with another video. Have a good night.